Have you ever heard the term esoteric? A lot of people haven't. To me, it means going deeper, looking deeper in whatever you're studying and ultimately into yourself. I'm Roach, Mark Roach, here to hopefully do more than entertain you or educate you, but actually inspire you to look deeper in yourself and find a way to relate to your fellow man and your life and the earth and your experience here with others in a more meaningful way. Or maybe just to let go of all that and enjoy your life in a way that maybe has eluded you. A lot of us weren't raised to be happy or to be explorers or seekers, and we're stumbling around, and I'd like for this channel, for Transcendent, to be a way to get out of these mechanical patterns and find a way to connect with each other in a deeply meaningful way. So that may sound kind of idealistic, and I'm obviously not the first to throw something like that out there. But let me share a little bit from some of Maurice Nicoll's work on the Gurdjieff fourth way that I think you might find enlightening. So what I wanted to talk about was what he talked about in his fourth volume of psychological commentaries. It's called The Work Conception of Man as a self-developing organism. That's a pretty fancy sounding title. And, he wrote this back in the late 40s and early 50s. And so it's, 70-ish years old. So I've revised some of his work here. But first, from his original work, let me read a few phrases that I underlined in this, and then I'll come back and I'll share an updated version of this this text. Overcoming the violent man, the man of violence in you. One might call this, in terms of another modern teaching, overcoming the prehistoric man who is covered in an animal skin. As you must all know by now, negative emotions can easily lead to violence. So you will understand that this creation of another person in himself, which is possible from the definition of man as a self-developing organism, has a great deal to do with separating oneself from all of the infinite forms of negative emotion, which will eventually always lead down to violence. Now, on one occasion, I said to Mr. Ouspensky, why were we not created perfect, just like that? He said to me earnestly that was not the idea, the plan of the universe. To be created perfect would mean that we had no work to do on ourselves at all. To be created as a self-developing organism is quite a different matter. When we understand the universe is an experiment in self-development, the conception of the universe changes into something adventurous. If you were given full consciousness, then you would know everything. But we have to struggle for it. There is no mechanical evolution. There is only conscious evolution. And he indicated that you could not increase consciousness by any mechanical means. You have, he said, to become more conscious of yourself, to develop an increasing consciousness of yourself. Mechanical evolution no doubt exists over long periods of time, but this does not concern us. But a man can evolve through certain kinds of efforts, and if he makes these efforts sincerely through his own understanding, his level of being will change. Now, this vision of life has created great force It has great force behind it. People, as you know, all tend to complain about their lives. They all think that external circumstances should be much better, and so on. But the work does not teach this. It says that the circumstances in which you were born are the best for you to work upon. If you receive this work into your hands, and especially into your hearts, then you will find that the circumstances in which you were born are the very things that give you force, if you work upon them and against them. You were born a self-developing organism that you cannot develop except by conscious effort against your life circumstances. The whole idea of the work and the whole idea of esoteric teaching, as far back as known history goes, is about your being a self-developing organism and consciously working against the circumstances of your life so that nothing can drag you into negative emotions. So Nicoll and Gurdjieff said a lot there. Violence, negative emotions, accepting where you were born, the conditioning that you had in your early childhood environment. They're basically saying that that was divine. And it's up to you to accept and reject aspects of it. So let me read a rewrite of the entire piece that I quickly put together here, maybe to make it a little more relevant than the original stuff that was written 70 years ago might seem. The self-developing journey. Let's delve into the fascinating concept of self-development as an ongoing journey. Imagine yourself as an unfinished house, a metaphor for the potential within each of us. This idea streams from a teaching known as the work, which posits that we are all self-developing organisms, and our mission is to complete this metaphorical house by consciously evolving ourselves. The house has many rooms. Picture a house with many rooms and 3 stories. According to the work, most people live in the basement, preoccupied with basic instincts like sex, movement, eating, and drinking. This imaginary or imagery suggests that our lives are often in disarray, without a clear master or direction. The key is to establish an observing eye, a part of ourselves that gathers all the eyes wishing to work towards self-improvement. This stage is known as the deputy steward. So esotericism and the new moon. Esotericism is an ancient philosophical approach and speaks of creating a new man within oneself. This involves overcoming the violent tendencies and negative emotions that can lead us astray. By separating from these emotions, we can transform from a primitive state into a more conscious being capable of joining what is called the conscious circle of humanity. So the purpose of the work, what is the ultimate goal of the work? Well, it's about evolving into a new being through conscious effort and self-awareness. This idea connects us to a profound sense of purpose and gives new meaning to our existence. We are not meant to be perfect from the start. Rather, we are designed to grow and develop through our own efforts. Embracing life's challenges. Interestingly, the work teaches that our life circumstances are perfectly suited for our development. Whether rich or poor, we are placed in situations that provide the necessary resistance to foster growth. Complaining about external conditions misses the point. Instead, we should embrace these challenges as opportunities for conscious evolution. conscious effort versus mechanical evolution. One crucial aspect of this philosophy is the distinction between mechanical and conscious evolution. While mechanical evolution occurs over long periods without our input, conscious evolution requires active participation and effort. By becoming more aware of ourselves and working against life's challenges, we can change our level of being. So in conclusion, there's a call to action. As we wrap up today, remember that you are a self-developing organism with the power to shape your destiny through conscious effort. Embrace your life circumstances as tools for growth and let go of "if only." That type of thinking. Instead, focus on what you can achieve by working against life's challenges and evolving into your best self. Thanks for taking this journey of self-discovery and transformation. Keep striving for conscious evolution, and we'll see you around. So you might consider what I just shared there from Maurice Nicoll. There's a bit of doing this for yourself and also for actually, as I see it, for the betterment of your people that are within your sphere of influence, your family, friends, loved ones, as well as for the larger picture of the general direction of all of mankind. I'm Mark Roach, wishing you all the best.